Hello and welcome back into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and hey, if this is your first time here, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell and the thumbs ups. Very much appreciated. All right, well, this is a kind of like 1/3 of the way through, actually 40% of the way through Summer League, because there's going to be 5 games played. We've had 2 games played so far. Today, they actually had a game they hadn't scheduled. And they got to play the Pacers today. It was early. And they won, which is nice because they didn't win yesterday. Yesterday, they lost to the Raptors 89-79. And today, they won 94-86 over the Indiana Pacers. And the star of the game was Immanuel Quickley. 32 points, 8 assists, 2 steals, and only 1 turnover. And one thing that I loved is that he looked very comfortable running the point. He did. There's a lot of debate whether IQ is a point guard or not. I say he can be one, but he needs to be given a chance to fail. That is the problem. When we had the team earlier on in the season, and I was calling for IQ to be, brought along as the point guard. This is before the Derrick Rose trade, remember. It's the hardest position to learn in the game. And as a rookie, it's even harder. Especially, it's harder if you haven't played it since you were in high school. So, gotta have some patience here, because at the end of the day, only good things can ultimately come from the IQ running the point experiment. Because eventually, he'll settle into the role that he's destined for, but it never hurts to have more than one ball handler and playmaker on the court at the same time. And what's beautiful is we're going to have so many this season. Deuce McBride, Grimes. Actually, the last play of the game, I believe it was the last play of the game of Game 2, was a beautiful pass where Grimes set up Deuce. He was dribbling at the top of the key, at the top of the three-point arc, and he saw Deuce cut. Perfect pass. It was, for a slam dunk for Deuce. You'll see the highlights. One thing, man, IQ though, man, those 32 points. Well, yesterday he only scored 15 points, but he also had 8 assists. So he's got 16 assists total already for the Summer League. 4 steals. He had 6 rebounds. 4 steals total, both games. Yesterday he had 6 rebounds, but he did have 3 turnovers. So he's averaging 2 turnovers a game for 8 assists. 4-to-1 ratio. I'll take it any day. Because let me tell you something. I'd rather someone not be the greatest playmaker, but hold on to the ball. That to me, giving up the ball, making a stupid pass or whatever, or trying to force the issue, that is the kiss of death for me as the primary ball handler. I just cannot handle that. And I loved seeing that Quickley was totally in command of that. And he has been pretty good throughout in his first season. He was pretty good at taking care of the ball. But what's crazy is Grimes has yet to make a 2-point shot, and Jericho Sims has yet to miss one. That's right. Grimes is 0 for 7 from the 2-point shots, and Sims is 10 of 10 in total. We're talking about for the whole Summer League. Now, Grimes, though, he has been effective from behind the arc. He's shot, somewhat effective. He's 5 of 14. He shot 3 of 8 in Game 1 and 2 of 6 today. What's interesting is he was a plus 17. Plus 17 in his plus-minus today. That's the kind of guy he is. He's going to be that secondary or tertiary ball handler who, catch and shoot, will knock down the 3, but he can make a play when it's required. When the clock is running out, he doesn't have to go and find the point guard who's going to then make the play, but you're going to lose 2-3 seconds, precious seconds right there. That's what's beautiful about having multiple ball handlers on the court and playmakers on the court at the same time. And when IQ and Deuce and Grimes were on the court at the same time, you had that. You had that nice ball movement. I really liked it. I mean, Miles. I love me some Miles McBride. Man. Even though he only scored 6 points. What am I talking about? That was Grimes. Miles scored 9 points Game 1. He had a nice Game 1, 9 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal. But on Game 2, 14 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. And defensively, he's everything that's been advertised and more. And more. Here, we can watch some highlights here. He's everything that's been advertised and more. I love, what's good about him, he not only is he a point guard, but he can also play off ball, which he did. He did actually primarily, he played off ball while IQ was on the court. And he did a really, really good job at that. And, he's got those long arms. The dude is, so far, everything that we've been talking about in terms of, while we were getting hyped about the draft, Deuce has delivered. Deuce has delivered. Deuce has delighted us. And Sims has totally set Summer League on fire with his 10 for 10. Man, that dunk that he had yesterday, game 1, where basically his eyes were level with the rim. And actually, he jumped. He was higher than the rim. His head. That was delicious. What a delicious dunk that was. But the real star, even though IQ probably gets the star so far of the Summer League, I give it to Obi Toppin. No stopping Toppin, man. Look at that, man. He has scored 46 points, 17 rebounds, 2 steals, a block, and 2 assists so far. And what's nice is yesterday he only shot 2 of 10 from behind the 3-point line, but today 3 of 6. It shows he's getting more comfortable. The thing about him is sometimes he still looks a little too wild. Especially on the fast break when he's dribbling, you can see he loses. His dribble gets a little too wild, and I think that kind of interrupts his ability to totally be in command of the play. Sometimes he got lost underneath the basket once, and I think the rim blocked him by himself, which we've seen that before. Remember, but what's nice is that is also happening in a game where he is. In a lot of ways, you got to say he's dominating. He is dominant. He is probably both games. He has been the most dominant big man on the court, and he's doing it face up. He's doing it down on the block. His versatility of makes has been really exciting, very, very exciting, and it actually brings me back to the main. Obi needs time on the court. He's going to have to play with Randall. They're going to have to share the court. That's going to have to happen because this guy has got to play. Because when he gets his hands on the ball, good things are generally going to happen. Yes, he's still, he's going to be a sophomore. And we know we've talked about the late blooming and all that stuff. And remember, he didn't, last season was a 72 game season, but no summer league for him last season, a short camp. That's all been talked about, but he came on nicely in the playoffs. And I see that carrying over in the summer league. I think as he just gains more and more confidence and a greater understanding of his awareness on the court, who's on the court with him, what, and not just with him, but against him, and what he can achieve. Man, when all that starts clicking, it's starting to. He's going to dominate. There is a good argument that Obi Toppin can be a 20-plus point scorer in this league eventually. That's what I'm seeing. So these are my takeaways so far. Grimes has been basically what has been advertised. Good defender. He's a good. An excellent 3-point shooter. Excellent right now. His stats don't scream excellent, but you could see it. The confidence. He hit his first 3-pointer in game 1. Really nice. He keeps the ball moving. He doesn't cough the ball up, which I like. I like that about him. In fact, before I totally confirm, let me just confirm that because I didn't see him make any turnovers. He made 1 turnover today. That's not too bad for 35 minutes. 1 turnover, but a plus 17 plus minus, and Sims a plus 16 plus minus. I know there's a lot of controversy about the plus minus stats, but at the end of the day, it shows the productivity, that it shows that the player is impacting winning on the court. That's why I like that stat. Really like that stat. Oh man. Well, some of the things that are kind of worrisome are Luka Vildoza. I have a feeling he may not make the team. He may not make the actual squad when the season begins. He hasn't shown much. And the other problem is Deuce. Deuce is showing that he can play. He's, everything that, we talked about before, all of his, the hype about him is actually true. So there's not going to be many minutes for Luka. Because we're gonna play big most of the time with Fournier and RJ at the 2 and 3, and then we have Burks, and then there's IQ. I mean, where's Luka gonna play? If Deuce is gonna take those minutes, so that's my concern. But he still has 3 more games to prove himself, so let's hope that he does. Rokas, on the other hand, has shown that he is a player. He's shown that he's a pro. I don't know if he's going to make the squad this year. I doubt it. He's supposed to play for Barcelona next season, and which would probably be better because we're pretty deep at this spot right now. And but I think eventually one day he will be an NBA player. So that's a good positive sign. There was a lot of positives. The Knicks are now 1-1 in summer league. Not that records really matter. It's more about the performance and how they play on the court. And there's been some nice things, some nice indicators. All right. Well, thank you for watching this. And, I hope you subscribe if you haven't yet and turn on the notification bell and the thumbs ups. All righty. Well, I will see you guys around the Knicks-Verse.